scream on my mind cause I miss you so, but eventually I'll get over you. Hit up the mall, drop a couple bands, I'll spending money is my
What's up, y'all? It's the girl Sequoia, and today's video is going to be an eyebrow tutorial on how to get these sleek eyebrows. Get into it, hey. Now let me stop. But if you want to get these sleek eyebrows, go ahead and continue to watch. But first, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, turn on the post notifications so when I drop my next video, you are the first to know. If you guys want me to do any specific videos, just go ahead and comment and I will definitely do that for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first item for our eyebrows today is our Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Custaard Medium 1. I love this concealer. This is the only concealer I use for my eyebrows. It has a thick, creamy consistency, and it is very easy for me to go in under my eyebrows and, just go ahead and clean them up. The second product we are using is the Anastasia Pomade, the Dipbrow in the shade Medium 1. I'm still trying to get the hang of this consistency. It's like a gel. It's kind of hard. It's kind of soft, but it does get the job done. It does not budge once you put it on. So once it dries, it's kind of set in place, and I do love the finish of this pomade. Our third item is this e.l.f. angled brush. We're going to use this to clean up underneath our eyebrows with our concealer. And our last item is this dual-ended Anastasia brush number 12. And I like this brush because I can get those thin hair-like strokes that give us that natural eyebrow effect. So for this video, I am going to do some steps off camera on one eyebrow just so our video isn't super long. So first, what we're going to do is brush our eyebrow hairs in the same direction, get them all in sync. And we're going to go in not too heavy-handed with the angled brush side of the Anastasia brush 12. And I'm going to start right at where my arch is and go in and make small lines. You don't want to go in too heavy, baby steps. Build it up if you need to, but go in and just basically follow the shape of your eyebrow. I do like to start at the end of my eyebrow just because this helps me to go ahead and determine the length of my eyebrow. Another good tip is I do take the spoolie end and angle the brush towards the corner of my eye, and that will determine how long the tail of my eyebrow is. Also, if I do happen to go too heavy-handed, I do like the back of my eyebrow darker than the front to give it that gradient effect, so that also helps with it as well. So once I do finish the line in the back, I go ahead and, darken the lines to my liking, and the light residue of product I have on the front, or the brush actually, I go ahead and put that on the front of the eyebrow. Go ahead, make sure all my lines are even, and both eyebrows are taking the same shape. I don't want one line too high, one line too low. I like my eyebrows to be perfect. Eyebrows to me are like painting. Sometimes you have to go back and touch up something you already did. So once I play around and I like what I see, I go on to my next step. The next step will be our individual hairs. This part can be a little tricky. I did have to play around with this to discover what I like, and I did mess up here so I can show you guys how to fix in case you do mess up. So you can see that last line in the back is too dark, and then there's like a little space in the front. So what you want to do is, if you do have too much product, brush it back. You see how I'm like moving away from the hairs and just kind of like blending it and coloring it in? That also will help correct. And then that line there that's too dark, I'll go ahead and use my spoolie and go ahead and brush into the brow. And that kind of helps, fade it and correct that mistake of me making it too dark. And once I go ahead and draw the top of my eyebrow on, you won't even see that anymore. Everybody likes their eyebrows, a different type of way. So to each his own. I just prefer my eyebrows to be as natural looking as I can get them. So I do make them lighter in the front. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and draw on that top line. Again, I don't start exactly in the front of my eyebrow just in case there's too much product on the brush. You want to start towards the back because the back can be dark. So I start at the tail and kind of just go upwards, you know, make that line as thin. So when I go in with my concealer, I get that sharp, you know, nice, clean looking end. I go ahead, just, you know, follow the shape of my eyebrow, you know, add my arch, you know, as I use the product, you know, it becomes less on the brush and I go ahead and add what's left to the front to complete, you know, that nice eyebrow shape. I would definitely recommend this product because you can make your eyebrows as thick or as thin, as dark or as light as you like. This product is very versatile. So I went ahead and drew in the other line, you know, do your final checks, making sure the shaping is to your liking. This part I do go in heavy-handed just because, again, I like the ending of my eyebrows, the tail end, to be dark. That is my problem area. So just go ahead and fill them in. Again, you know, just rub the product in. Don't be afraid to, you know, mess up. You know, that's why we're going to use concealer to clean up. The spoolie is very helpful as well. If you do get too much product in one area of your eyebrows, the spoolie is very convenient. It's literally on the other end of the brush. All you just got to do is, you know, brush the product into your brow. And like, you literally cannot go wrong. If you have the Dipbrow in this brush, I promise you, you will have some really good eyebrows. So there I am, just filling in, you know, my eyebrows to my liking, being very careful not to put too much product to the front. I treat this product kind of like you would nail polish. You know how you would put your first layer and kind of let it dry, let it set before you go in with your second layer. I do the eyebrow, you know, Dipbrow just like that. So I'll go in, let it dry, you know, brush it through and then let it set. And I'll go ahead and show you what I mean by that. So on this eyebrow, being that the light shines better on this side, you can see that as I am putting the Dipbrow, you can see some spaces are lighter than others. Those are the spaces where, you know, they're my problem areas. I need hair there. So what I do is I go on with the Dipbrow, you know, brush, spread it evenly through, you know, apply as much product as I need to go ahead and fill in what I can. And then I'll go in with the spoolie once I've laid everything down to brush it through and then let it dry. I honestly think my favorite thing about this product is how it finishes. Like when I'm done with my eyebrows, like it has this really nice matte finish. And I know that my eyebrows are going to be on my face all throughout my day. And what's an eyebrow tutorial without a little jig? So as you can see, like they're starting to come in, and even without the concealer, they look really good. They look really natural. And here you can see that I'm going in with product after it's sat a little bit to go ahead and build up around, you know, the tail end, my problem area, just to make sure that it's dark and that, you know, it covers all the hairs and all, you know, the space, and make sure everything is seamless and together. So I want you guys to notice how this eyebrow looks. Like you can see there on the end, it looks like there's a little thing going on. I'm going you guys to notice how when we go in with the concealer, which we're going to do right now, the magic this concealer does. Like when they say soft, matte, and complete, they were not lying. I love this concealer. So again, we're just going to continue to start back where we first did with the Dipbrow, a little bit before the arch. And I wouldn't suggest going in heavy-handed with this. I believe a little goes a long way. And, you know, just go in gently, softly. You know, you don't want to mess up all your hard work. So just go up underneath the eyebrow, connect, you know, do little by little. If you feel like you have too much on the brush, again, I always aim to put the extra products at the back. For some reason, it just works better that way. For just everyday eyebrows, I don't necessarily bring the concealer down onto my eyelid unless I'm doing an eyeshadow. And I don't, you know, normally do that unless I'm doing like a full face or whatever. But if not, I don't plan on giving myself extra work. I just use what I need, and I keep the amount of products, the amount of concealer, super light. Now we're going to go ahead and clean up the tail end. And this is my favorite part because in case you made your arch look funny or you have any strangling lines, or you know, just the shaping doesn't look too right on the tail end, this concealer cleans all that up. And you can see from start to finish, you know, before I put the concealer down, how I didn't even blend it out, and that eyebrow already looks really, really good. Like you can see it really starting to come together. I don't put concealer on the top of my eyebrow. You can see here, I'm showing you guys, that's a hell no for me. I don't like that floating eyebrow look. I put, again, just a little bit. I use what I need. God don't like waste. And makeup is already expensive as it is. You go in Sephora and spend $3,000. Thank you for shopping at Sephora and spending $3,000. Here's a $5 coupon. Don't nobody have time for that. Use what you need. So I went ahead and blended out my other eyebrow off camera. We're just going to finish up blending out this one. I know y'all see how crispy that tail end is. Don't mind the red spots on my face. I was trying to crimp my hair earlier and burnt myself. I'm definitely not a hairstylist. Yeah, it didn't work out for me. So once we finish blending out to our desire, you don't necessarily have to use this brush, but I be lazy and not be wanting to dirty up all my brushes, so I make this one work. But you could use a fluffier brush and blend it out. Another trick I like to use is my finger. I don't know what it is, but the heat from my finger is somehow like cleans up and places that concealer or the extra concealer on the tail end as I like it. And that's actually something I do all the time, using my finger just on different pieces of my eyebrow. You can see I'm doing it here. It just, I don't know, it moves it. It does a thing, and I just like the thing it does, and I just continue to do it. So now you just want to check, make sure your eyebrows are to your desired liking. My eyebrows, I do them every day. It takes me about 10 minutes. I'm going to get dressed and come back. And we are back with our finishing look. Completed my eyebrows. They all woken up fleek and whatnot. The natural hairs that, well, not the natural, but the hairs that we drew in on the inside give it that gradient natural effect. Serving all types of things. And that is all for today for this look. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.